Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you some amazing things that you could do on the Gemini AI if you're working as a teacher. But bear in mind that I'll just focus on the things that you could do directly on this AI tool, whether it is the desktop or the mobile version of Gemini. So I'm not going to be covering all the things that might be related to Gemini, but happening on other platforms like Gemini on Notebook LM, Gemini on Gmail, on Google Docs, etc. I'll just focus on the things that you could do directly on the Gemini app. So here's the tip number one. First, of course, you can use Gemini to make your life a lot easier. You can use Gemini to create questions, to create simple lesson plan, or maybe you can discuss with Gemini about the things that you might want to teach in your classroom or brainstorm some ideas that could be useful in your workflow. And Gemini is actually very good at following your instruction, at least according to Chatbot Arena. It ranks #1, and so far there is no other AI model that is this good. So I do recommend to use Gemini to answer a lot of questions, or at least you can use it to have a discussion about pretty much anything. And I do recommend to use the live mode on Gemini. Right now, this live mode feature is only exists on the mobile version, although there is a way you can enable it on the desktop version, but it's a bit too long to explain, and you can check the tutorial on my other video. But basically on the mobile version, you can tap on this icon. Then you can have a live chat with Gemini. It will answer your question in real time, and of course it can also do research on the internet. And interestingly, you can click on this camera icon to enable camera, so Gemini can see exactly what you're pointing with your smartphone camera. Or you can also click on this sharing screen button, where Gemini can see exactly what's happening on the screen of your smartphone at the moment. So when you're having a discussion or you are asking Gemini for anything, it will know the context and will give you much better answer. So I highly recommend to use this live mode. All right, that was the first thing that you could do. The second thing that you could do on Gemini, and I think this is really cool, is that you can use Gemini to create a quiz based on a topic or based on a document. Let me give you one quick example. I'm going to click this button. Let me just upload the file, and I'm going to be using these basic biology concepts that I will turn into a quiz. And I'm going to be using this simple instruction to Gemini that basically I want to ask Gemini to generate a quiz based on the document. And then you can send a message and just wait for Gemini to answer you with a list of quiz. But that's actually not the thing that we want to get. There is a feature where we can convert that into a more interactive quiz that is fun and more interesting to answer. So basically on the answer, you want to scroll down to the very end, and you should be able to see this button, ready to for some practice. Gemini can quiz you on this. You can click this button and just wait for it. It will open a new section where it will create an interactive quiz based on everything that was created earlier. So just wait, it is still thinking, and it will show the quiz on the right side of the screen. It kind of look like this. There is a list of questions. I think it was 10 questions. You can select one of them as the answer, and then it will tell you whether the answer was correct or wrong. And of course, you can share the quiz to your students. You can also present it on the classroom. Now, right now, when I'm recording this video, there seems to be a problem with Gemini because I tried so many ways to create quiz. Usually this is the way to create quiz, but for some reason it doesn't work. It doesn't show up the section where you can see the quiz, but usually you will see something that resembles this. So unfortunately, there must be a technical issue within Gemini at the moment. I cannot show you, but I'm hoping that when you're trying this feature, you can create a quiz that look like this using Gemini. Yeah, that's my hope. Anyway, that's the second thing that you can do. Let's move on with another cool thing that you could do with Gemini. So the third thing that you can do is that you can create an infographic based on a document or based on a topic. Again, I'll use the same document. Let me just click this button, upload files, and select the same document. Now, I'm going to be using this. Open the document in the canvas mode. So let's enable the canvas mode. And basically, we want to open this in the canvas mode first before we can turn that into an infographic. This is necessary Otherwise, we cannot create an infographic if we don't open the document in that mode first. Okay, now the document is still being copied to the canvas mode, and then later we want to convert this into an infographic. And after that, you can click this button, create, and then select infographic. And by the way, there is the quiz option. This is also another way where you can create a quiz, but again, I have done the testing, it doesn't work. There could be some problem with Gemini, but I'm hoping again it will work when you're trying to use it. Anyway, let's click infographic, and it will create a sort of web-based infographic. It is not a picture, but it is still an infographic nonetheless, and I think it is also a cool way of learning. Now I'll just skip forward and show you the result. Alright, so this is what the infographic look like. It is basically web-based and it is kind of interactive. You can also ask AI to make it more interactive, like adding some elements, animation, some effect when you hover above some elements. You could do that. But again, it is not exactly a picture, although there is a way to convert this content into an image, but I have talked about that on my previous video. You can check it out. It is a bit longer, but I think it is worth it if you are interested to do that. Anyway, you can still share the infographic to your student and they can see the document or the infographic that you just created with Gemini. Now let's move on with another thing that you could do with Gemini. So you can use Gemini to create a picture. Obviously, to create a picture with Gemini, you just need to use a keyword like generate a picture or create a visual or make an image or something like that, and you can describe the thing that you want to create. And one reason why you might want to use Gemini for creating or even editing a picture is that this model, right now it is using Imagen 4 model. It is very good at creating pictures. It is realistic, it is accurate, it understands your query, and also it is very consistent. I have done some editing testing and this model is just really good at maintaining the originality of the picture. So you can definitely use it as a replacement of things like Photoshop or Canva. Now, this is the result. And of course, you can also use Gemini to create a video. This is actually a new feature, but I think it is worth trying. Now I'm going to create a new chat, and here you can click the video button, and then you can click the add photo button. Actually, this is optional. If you want to create a video from a photo, then you can use that. You can also just describe the thing that you want to create in the video mode, and you can use the VO3 model right now because this model is able not only create video but also audio. So the people, let's say in the video, you could make the people talk, say something, or create some noise. You could do that. But in this case, I'll try to create a video based on this picture. I'm going to animate the character and I'm going to be using this simple prompt, and you can send the message. This process will usually take about 1 to 2 minutes and it will produce an 8-second video, which may be useful to make your classroom more interesting, and you can create some material using Gemini. So I guess I'll just skip forward and show you the final picture or the final video. Okay, so the video has been created and this is the result. Alright, the video looks quite realistic and I barely see any flaw from the quality of the video, and also there is some sound effect in the video which makes it even more immersive. Okay, now let's move on to another thing, and probably the last thing that I have on this video, and this is actually something that is really cool. So Gemini is known to be very good at coding, which means you can create some basic custom app that might be useful for your very specific use case. For example, here I asked Gemini to create an app, web-based app, to help me grade my student. And basically here, the app is actually being powered by Gemini. So yes, you can actually create an AI-powered app using Gemini AI. It's quite interesting, basically. So here I'm going to upload an example of, let's say, student answer or from essay, and then I can grade the assignment using AI. Of course, there's probably not the best way to do so. I think you still need to be responsible and you have to grade your own student, but at least the answer from AI is kind of giving you another perspective that you probably missed before, and it will give you a much better understanding and hopefully more accurate grading compared to if you're doing it yourself. So this is the grade from AI, and there is a reason why it is giving it this grade. So this AI tool is really cool, and basically if you want to create something like this, you can start a new conversation with Gemini. Like, let me give you an example. Like, you can create an app about something, you can write the description, and then be sure to enable canvas mode. It is very important to enable the canvas mode if you want to create an app using Gemini. And this is just one example that I created, and there could be so many other things that you could do. I don't know what is your use case, so you can help Gemini about the things that you have a problem with, and how an app created by Gemini could help you solve the problem. So these are some amazing things that you could do with the Gemini AI at the moment. And of course, I think I will add even more things in the future, but that's basically some amazing things that you could do with Gemini to help you as a teacher. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.